Illinois State Treasurer. I'm the Chief Investment Officer for the state of Illinois, but we also are in charge of unclaimed property. What that means is we fight with banks, with financial institutions, with companies or corporations that are holding on to money that belong to your viewers. And if after about 10 years of physical property coming in from a safe deposit box, if we can't track down the rightful owner, in order to create room in our vault, we will auction off those properties, and that's what we're in the middle of right now.
I want to start with when you auction off some of these items, where does that money go?
So we hold on to the money forever. This is not a way to fund state government. This is a way of turning physical items into cash. There are limits to how many physical items we can store in our vault, but we can store basically infinite cash in bank accounts. And so that Hank Aaron baseball card that your grandfather saved, if you come back 15 years later, we may not be able to give you that card, but we'll give you every penny that it sold for at auction.
So, what other types of items are able to be generated for these online auctions? Like you mentioned, the Hank Aaron baseball card. What else is out there?
We have something for everyone out there. If you're a sports fan, we have Hall of Famers, we have basketball greats and legends, we have hockey, baseball, football cards out there, we have jewelry, a woman's gold watch, some pocket watches out there, we have currency, old notes and old coins, we have gold, we have silver. If you have someone in your life who's one of those hard to buy for people and the holidays are not that far around the corner, go to our website, look and see if we have something that might be special for them. And this is a great way to start doing your holiday shopping early.
How would an item like a 1989 Chicago Bears pin or maybe the Jackie Robinson baseball card, how do those items end up going unclaimed?
Well, these were things that were important for someone. They feared either them being stolen from their house or burnt up in a fire. And so they put them aside in a bank safe deposit box. And that's a very safe way to store something. But if it was really valuable to you, you may not have told your children or your spouse or grandchildren about what you had and where you stored it. When you passed away, if no one knew to go to that bank to claim it, it eventually goes unclaimed and turned over to our office. And so we'd love to get it back into the hands of the rightful owners or their loved ones and next of kin.
So, how does the treasurer's office? How do you guys decipher whether to put an item up for auction, or just to hold on to it a little bit longer?
So it all depends on how long we have held on to this. Generally, the items we put on the auction have been untouched by their owner for at least 10 years. If after that time no one's come forward to claim it, it becomes less likely we do. But once again, all we're doing with this auction is turning this physical property into cash. We will still hold on to that cash for as long as it takes for someone to claim.
And what steps should all Illinois residents be taking to check if they might have some unclaimed property out there?
Yeah, so we're happy to do this, but we would love it if it never came to us in the first place. And so the first thing is if you have valuables stored somewhere in a bank safe deposit box, make sure it's written down somewhere for after you pass away. Make sure you tell one or at least a couple people in your family about this. That way it never comes to us. But if someone in your family has passed away and you don't know if you found all of the money or items that were in their possession, go to our website at icash.illinoistreasurer.gov, or you just go to illinoistreasurer.gov and click on iCash, unclaimed property. Check for yourself, check for your family members, check especially for deceased family members, but you might also want to check for a business that you own or a charity or an organization you're part of, because we have money not just for people, but for organizations in the state as well.
There was a live auction not all that long ago at the state fair, and that set some record sales there. Did you take anything from that you think can maybe apply to this auction, to this online auction that's coming up? Do you think it'll have maybe be as popular as the state fair one?
We love the state fair one because I love the state fair. I grew up in downstate Illinois, attended the state fair. Judy Bartopinka started this years ago, and I brought it back. It's a great day at the fairgrounds, and we smash records. We auction off about $370,000 worth of items. set a record for one individual. We had a bar of gold that sold for $33,500. And what I should have learned here is you get better prices when more people know about it. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing this press tour, these press availabilities, to let people know that there are treasures and valuables out there. Something that really meant someone to someone in this state. But for whatever reason, they've lost track of it. And we kind of feel like those valuable items ought to be in the warm embrace of family rather than in a cold vault here in Springfield, Illinois. But you had asked earlier about what our process was, how long we hold on to them. It's about 10 years, with the exception of military medals. That's one thing that we'll never auction off. A lot of people come back from war. They have the same feeling of their military medals. They don't want them being stolen or burnt in a home fire, so they store them. But that's something you can't buy. We're not going to sell that valor. That's something that is earned by those people who served our country, and we will hold on to those for as long as it takes to track down the rightful owners or their heirs.
I'm sure the families definitely approve of that measure for sure. I want to ask you. You said that some of these items are literally stored in a cold safe. Is that literally where they're stored? How do you, I guess, ensure their safety until you're able to find the rightful owners or put it up for auction? Walk us through where things are actually stored.
Yeah, I'm coming to you live from my building in Springfield, Illinois. And if you were here, be happy to give you a tour down in our basement. This is Abraham Lincoln's old bank. And down in our basement, we have multiple vaults. And so to get there, you've got to get through one set of doors with codes. You've got to go through some people, get to another large walk-in vault. And then from there, they're stored in individual safe deposit boxes as well. So there's a lot of security protecting these. We also want to make sure that we protect these from identity thieves. You know, there are a lot of people out there who go to our website, find lots of money. We have nearly $5 billion out there we'd like to return to people in the state. And for some of those larger claims, people will go to the trouble of creating a fake identity to try and claim some of these valuables. But we have put things in place to reduce that amount, and we will prosecute anyone who is illegally attempting to claim something that is theirs to the fullest extent of the law.
From your time there in the treasurer's office, is there any one item that has surprised you the most? Like, how in the world did this end up here?
When I first came in for treasurer, they took me down to the vault and showed me a large sword. Now, I realized there are different sizes of bank safe deposit boxes, but I didn't realize there was one long enough to include a sword. We have found all kinds of interesting things out there, but I would say the ones that are most impactful to me, the one I remember the most when I came down, I saw in a display case a Purple Heart. My uncle had earned a Purple Heart in Vietnam, but I had never seen that Purple Heart before. I'd never seen one in person, just pictures of them. And that started my effort to try and track down the rightful owners of those Purple Hearts. A few years ago, we started Operation Purple Heart to help return more of these military medals. And just a few weeks ago, I was able to return my 16th Purple Heart since taking office. We still have 7 more in our possession that we'd love to reunite with their rightful owners. And so if someone out there wants to help in that effort, they can go to operationpurpleheart.org, check and see information we have from those safe deposit boxes, see if you know anything, if you might be able to give us a clue so that we can return those final 7.
And I got one more for you. Beyond auctions, what are some of the other outreach efforts that your office does to maybe reconnect people with some of their unclaimed property across the state?
So when it comes into us, we send letters to the last known address. We try and track down phone numbers and call people. We work with legislators to track down mutual constituents. We have civic engagement staff that goes out to public events. There are some people who just don't trust the internet. We can send them a letter. We can tell them to go to a website, and some people don't want to, and they need that personal touch. And when they show up at a town hall or a senior event and they see a state employee sitting behind a table with an official banner and a name badge, they're much more likely to trust us. So we go to great lengths and many different medium in order to try and track down the rightful owners and find people where they are.
All right, Illinois Treasurer Michael Frerichs, thanks so much for your time, and we hope that you can return some of these much-needed items, especially those Purple Hearts. I believe you said there are 7 left, so hopefully some of these Illinois families will come forward and claim them for sure. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. We encourage people to go to illinoistreasurer.gov to look about things on the auction, but also check for yourself, see if we have something that belongs to you. We find about 1 in 4 people who go to our website find we have something that belongs to them, and the average amount last year was about $1,000.